Hi everyone, welcome back to Wife at Home. Today for A Year of the Good Wife's Guide, I'm showing you my pantry. So I do a deep pantry slash food storage for a couple of reasons. The first big reason is financial. So if you keep a stocked pantry, fridge, freezer, you're only going to be buying food at the lowest prices. So that right there saves you money outright. And yes, of course, you have to watch and make sure that you're rotating first in, first out, and watch the expiration dates. Don't buy more than you can eat before it expires, etc. But it's still going to save you money. And then it's also a money saver because I've got food at home to cook. There are several meals that I can make with absolutely no outside input from anything, even my fridge or freezer. So that right there is a buffer against, oh, well, let's just go get a pizza. And then another financial blessing of having food storage is if there's a problem with your family's economic situation, it gives you some breathing room. There have been many, many months where we have not had enough grocery money or we have not had any grocery money at all. And we've still been able to eat just fine. And in fact, we've actually been able to take people food from our pantry that were in greater need than us in months that we didn't have a grocery budget because of this pantry. So, you know, it has just been this wonderful buffer because, you know, we all have those unexpected expenses that come up. You know, we might have tires, we might have a kid that gets sick, we might need to go to the doctor. There's all sorts of unexpected things that can happen. And the second one is obedience. I don't think I've blatantly stated it on my channel, but I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, aka I'm a Mormon. And we have been counseled to keep as much food storage as reasonable up to a year in our homes. You know, they've counseled us, you know, just start small, just have a few days if that's all you can have. But the ideal is to have a year's supply. I don't have a year's supply of everything. There's a couple things I've got over a year's supply on. But we've just been counseled to do that. And we have seen the blessings, largely that I've outlined in the financial reasons for doing this, from following that counsel. You know, my husband's not a member, he's agnostic, but when we got married, one of our first goals was to do food storage. And it has helped us so much. We have worked very, very hard to have the pantry that we do. My husband has been very supportive. He has let us, you know, buy these shelves. He has helped me move stuff. Anytime I want to rearrange stuff, he's right there helping me move things. And, you know, I've put a lot of hours into shopping around, doing a price book, chasing sales, those sort of things. So we have worked really, really hard to have the pantry that we have. And, you know, my part in it is, you know, to me, it very much relates to the Proverbs 30:31 woman. Our 10th Relief Society president, Barbara B. Smith, she said, "The principle of family preparedness and a woman's part in them were not given for our time alone. I consider the woman described in the 31st chapter of Proverbs. Recall her wisdom, prudence, frugality, and preparation. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet." And that's why I'm doing a pantry tour in my Year of the Good Wife's Guide, because to me, this is part of my role in making sure that our family is prepared for emergencies and economic downturns and things like that. So saying all that, let's get started. I'm going to start with the shelves behind me and then work around and into the closet that's in the room. So the first thing you see in our food storage room is our freezer, which does not work. We just brought it back from my parents. Something is wrong with it. Ben's got to work on it, or we're going to have to save up and get a new one. So right now it's unplugged, but it's just kind of staying here as a placeholder. The stuff next to it, the bottom container is my sugar reserves, and then on top it's just like some extra paper products and kitchen utensils and jars and things. These just did not fit on the racks. So our racks are from Sam's Club, and I really like them because they've got wheels on them. So we have to unload them a little bit, but then we can shove them around and I can clean under and behind them better. So this corner rack, the very top, is where I keep my gardening stuff. You'll see that probably in one of my gardening videos. Then the next two racks, this rack here has pumpkin in the middle of it, and I'll explain the pumpkin in a second, but around it, it's got 3 big cans of vegetables, and that's just if I had to make something for like a church potluck really fast. And then just my random cans. I've got another couple of areas where I have cans that are part of my normal rotation, but this is where random cans live. And these are just things that I bought one-off on the salvage store. My mom's given me, people have moved and they've given us, things like that. So the pumpkin, we found this at Sam's Club. They're the 29-ounce cans, and they're 3-packs. They were 51 cents each, and we found those a couple years ago. So we bought every package of pumpkin that they had. So we've got a lot of pumpkin. And then next to it is just my little stash of canned meat. We don't do a lot with canned meat. Below that's my water storage. Most of these bottles aren't filled. I need to fill them. There's a sweet little lady from church that doesn't like the city water, so she buys these containers, and then she'll give them to me if I need them. And then behind there is my vinegar. I need to find a different place for that, but it is what it is for now. And then on this rack, I've got tomatoes, mushrooms, and then this container has little fancy vinegars I've bought from the salvage store, you know, like wine vinegars and things. And then next to that's balsamic. And then next to it is Worcestershire sauce and soy sauce. And then this row has got corn syrup and molasses and honey. And then here's my various cooking oils. Below that, I've got tomato paste. I'm lower than I would like on it, but there's my tomato paste. Between it and the peanut butter, sorghum molasses. This front jar here is actually from a former colleague of my mom. And so yeah, that's, but then the other two were bought some other random place. Then the peanut butter, I buy that when it goes on sale for $1 per 16-ounce jar. Unfortunately, I have not seen that price in a long time, so I'm really, really hoping that I don't have to raise my price point on peanut butter. So anyway, this is our current peanut butter stock. As you can see, I'm not picky at all about brand name. The Jif really was on sale for the same price as the generic goes on sale sometimes, so that's why I have the name brand. I am not loyal to name brands. Below here, I've got, these are my lentils, and I think I've got some extra just random dried beans in there, but these are lentils. This is supposed to be cornmeal, but I'm out. Dehydrated onions, you know, it's the same as the little minced onions you buy in the spice aisle, but this is a much better price. I get these from the LDS Home Storage Center. And then this is my spice bucket. I have a different place for my big bottles of spices, but these are the little spices like from Aldi or from clearance sales or salvage store, things like that. And there's also some in there. A friend moved and she gave us like a whole bunch of stuff from her pantry, and so there's some extra things in there. This container has our white flour. And then between the white flour and the next set, this is where we keep our soda. I'm out of soda right now. I drink diet. My husband drinks regular, and so he just has his soda right there. Excuse me. And then this container is full of pasta. It's spaghetti, thin spaghetti, and elbow macaroni. And then this container is cornstarch. I'm going to either have something else in there with the cornstarch eventually, or switch the containers, because I don't have to store this much cornstarch. This container is mostly empty. And then behind that is another container this size with weird pasta. And right now mostly I've got some kind of like little tiny pastas that you just like throw into soups and stuff, and then a couple packages of ramen. And then in this corner over here, excuse me, I've just got some buckets of dry goods. I have oats, white beans, black beans, white wheat, red wheat, and jasmine rice. And the ones with the Gamma Seal lids are the ones that I'm actually getting into. The little blue lids are kind of a pain to open. And then this is my random dry goods box. Again, sometimes things that my mom has given us, like these and that, like this and this. I think she gave us these. No, a cousin gave us these. Some. Let's see what else we have in here. Just random things. And so I just keep these in here and separate. That way when I come in here to do my shopping planning and my meal planning, I know that I need to try to pull from this box first, because a lot of times things in here are more convenience foody than I normally buy, and so they have they go bad a little bit faster. It's like I've got a rice mix. Like I don't buy rice mixes, I just make them myself, but we are not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, so we have a random box. Okay, so up here we've got my pineapple. Next to it is a box with jams, jellies, and soup base in it. I'm switching from broth to soup base. Below that is a shoebox full of like savory seasonings and Dijon mustard from the salvage store. It's also where I keep our bags of bacon bits from Sam's Club. We use those as a seasoning. Then here's my dry milk area. I'm really low right now. I just have these two. This is whole milk, not non-fat milk, but this is from the salvage store. I mean, they're just kind of placeholding. And then next it is my canned milk, the evaporated and sweetened condensed. Next to it is what I call my problem or uh-oh box, and that's just things where I deliberately purchase certain convenience foods just in case of emergency dinners and things like that. And right now all that's in there is spaghetti sauce, jarred spaghetti sauce. Normally I make my own, but I do keep some jarred stuff around. Below this, these two shelves eventually are going to be 12 boxes like this. These are boxes I scavenged from the Bishop Storehouse. But it's going to be 12 boxes like that, full of different canned vegetables I've bought. All of these things are things that I am rotating through that I'm no longer going to store in cans. Well, I fibbed. The chickpeas, I'm going to keep some chickpeas around. But, you know, the canned corn, I'm not really going to keep much of it around. I might keep like half a flat or something, but like the broth, I've switched to the beef base, things like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and rotate through these things, and then as I open up space, replace it with the vegetables that I want. And I'm keeping track of all that on my food storage inventory paper that was over there on the freezer. I don't think I showed that. Anyway, below that, powdered sugar, more powdered sugar, and a brown sugar. Then this is my general baking box, and this is where I have things like food coloring, and I've got some candy flavoring, candy coloring, chocolate chips, cinnamon chips, things like that, white chips, just anything that I use special for baking. And I didn't want to have like its own box because there just wasn't enough of it. And then next to that is dried fruit and instant puddings and instant jello and regular gelatin. And I used to have those two in separate boxes, but I combined everything because, again, I just didn't need that much of those particular items. And then below that, I've got rice. This is my white rice, and this is my jasmine rice. And then on top of the jasmine rice, back here, there's a container that has like baking chocolate, so like the bars, not the chips. And then here are extra chocolate chips and then my extra cocoa powder. These guys will eventually be in some kind of box, but for right now they're just kind of hanging out. We just reorganized the food storage room. Now my food storage room is technically a bedroom, so it does have a closet, and this is where I keep my big spices that I buy from GFS and Sam's Club or Costco. And I take smaller quantities of most of these and put them in little jars in my kitchen to actually pull from. And then up over here in the top shelf here, this is where I keep my like super specialty food storage items that I don't use a lot, but I want to have on hand just in case of a true like no income emergency situation. And I've just got things that will add a little bit of flavor, you know, to rice, like the red and green bell peppers, or to oatmeal, like the strawberries. I've got honey powder, shortening powder, 4 cans of powdered eggs, and 6 cans of dried apples. Because I don't really use dried apples a lot, but you know, and if we had absolutely no food, then that would be some extra fruit to have on hand. And I don't rotate through these very fast, but I do have I have a jar of cheese powder out in my kitchen that I'm rotating through now, because this stuff will go bad eventually, so it's just rotated through much slower than everything else.